Okay, let's dive in. So picture this. You're relaxing, maybe watching TV, and you look over at your dog and you notice, well, a little drip right on the end of their nose.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes, it's nothing. Maybe they just dunked their face in the water bowl or got super excited.
Exactly. A happy nose drip.
But other times, that little runny nose makes you think, is something up?
Spot on. Because, like, a damp nose can just be a dog being a dog, right?
Yeah.
They cool down through their nose and paws.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize the nose was part of the cooling system.
It is. And all that sniffing they do, constantly.
Yeah.
That can cause a bit of wetness, too. But if it's running consistently, what we call nasal discharge, that's definitely worth a closer look.
Gotcha. So that's what we're tackling today, the whole doggy runny nose situation.
Yep.
Our mission is basically to break down the common causes, what signs mean, call the vet, and maybe some simple things you can do at home without all the, super technical jargon.
And it's important to remember how vital that nose is for them. They've got, like 220 million smell receptors? We have maybe 5 million.
Whoa, that's a huge difference.
It really is. So a blocked or runny nose is a pretty big deal for how they experience the world.
Okay, so you noticed the drip. How do you figure out if it's just like normal dog stuff or something to actually worry about?
That's the key question, isn't it? Look, occasional clear, watery stuff, probably fine.
Like after they greet you like you've been gone for years.
Exactly. Or after they've been chasing squirrels in the yard on a hot day. That's often just them cooling off, like we said, their own little AC unit.
Okay. My dog definitely gets that post-squirrel zoomy drip. But when did the alarm bell start ringing?
Right. So persistence is one thing. If it's going on for more than, say, a couple of days, or if you notice there's just more of it, pay attention.
Okay.
But the big clues are changes in the discharge itself. It goes from clear to cloudy, or worse, yellow or green.
Like people cold colors.
Precisely. That often points towards an infection. Also, if it gets thick, like mucus or kind of sticky.
Ew. Okay.
And obviously, any blood or pus is an immediate call the vet situation. No question.
Right. So clear and brief is, okay, anything colorful, thick, bloody, or pus-like is bad news. What about if it's only coming out of one nostril? Does that mean anything specific?
Oh, good point. Yeah, one-sided discharge can often suggest something localized is going on just in that one nostril.
Like what?
Like something stuck up there. You know how dogs sniff everything?
Right.
They can inhale stuff, a grass seed, bits of twig, even like tiny bits of gravel or toy stuffing.
Oh, wow. Like kids sticking peas up their noses.
Kinda, yeah. So if you see that one-sided drip, maybe with sneezing, where they keep pawing at their nose, and foreign object.
Yikes. Okay, so besides the look of the discharge and whether it's one-sided, what other warning signs should we watch for?
Well, sneezing that goes on for more than a day or two or seems to be getting worse, that's a flag. And that nose rubbing or pawing at the face we mentioned, that tells you something's really bothering them up there. Irritation, maybe pain.
Makes sense. They're trying to get it out or stop the feeling.
Exactly. Also, listen to their breathing. Is it noisy? Raspy? Are they panting really hard even when resting? Any actual trouble breathing is an emergency. Straight to the vet.
Got it. Emergency. What else?
Coughing is another one.
Yeah.
Especially if it's persistent or they cough so hard they gag. Lethargy is a big one. Just seeming really tired, no energy.
Yeah, not their usual self.
Right. And not wanting to eat or any vomiting alongside the nasal stuff. Those are all reasons for concern.
That's quite a list. Any other clues?
Yeah, check their eyes too. Any yellow or green gunk coming from the eyes, or the eyes looking swollen or puffy. The nose and eyes are connected, so problems can show up in both.
Ah, okay, good tip.
Also, bad breath. If their breath suddenly gets really foul, especially with discharge, it could actually be linked to dental problems affecting the sinuses.
Really? Dental issues.
We'll get to that. And of course, any obvious swelling on their face or nose if it seems painful to touch, or if they have a nosebleed that doesn't stop pretty quickly. Vet time.
Okay, armed and ready with the warning signs. Now, let's talk about why their nose might be running. It's not just because they're sad they dropped their ball, right?
Yeah. Usually not, no. One really common cause, just like with us, is allergies.
Oh, yeah. To what?
All sorts of things. Pollen, dust, mold, those little dust mites. Even sometimes our skin cells, human dander.
We can make our dogs allergic. That's wild.
It can happen. And sometimes it's even contact allergies, like to their food bowl material or cleaning products.
So like my hay fever, but for dogs.
Pretty much. And with allergies, the discharge is often that clear, watery type we talked about.
Okay.
You might also see other allergy signs, lots of sneezing, maybe some coughing, itchy skin, watery eyes, the whole package.
Poor things. Okay, so allergies. What else irritates those super sensitive noses?
Environmental stuff, definitely. Things like smoke, fireplace smoke, cigarette smoke, you name it. Heavy dust, strong cleaning chemicals. Even things we like strong perfumes, air fresheners, scented candles, incense. They can all be irritating to a dog's nasal passages.
Good to know. Maybe ease up on the Febreze if Fido's sniffly.
Couldn't hurt to try. Then there's that foreign object issue we touched on.
Right, the inhaled grass seed scenario.
Exactly. Grass-ons are notorious, but also seeds, bits of toys, gravel, anything small they might snuffle up while exploring. And remember, that often causes discharge from just one nostril plus sneezing and pawing.
Got it. Allergies, irritants, things stuck up there. What about infections?
Yep, as a big category, dogs can get bacterial infections, viral infections. Think kennel cough, which is kind of like a doggy cold, spreads easily.
Right, you hear about that from boarding kennels or dog parks sometimes.
You do. Very contagious. And even fungal infections can happen in the nose or sinuses. These usually cause that colored discharge, the yellow-green cloudy stuff.
Okay, and maybe a smell.
Sometimes, yeah, a bad odor. And they might cough too, because of postnasal drip, where the discharge drips down the back of their throat.
Oh, nasty.
And just briefly, a serious virus called distemper can cause sticky yellow discharge, but it has lots of other severe symptoms too. Thankfully, vaccines make it much rarer now.
Phew, vaccinations are key. Okay, you mentioned dental problems earlier. How does that connect to a runny nose?
It's a really interesting link. If a dog has, like, a bad tooth abscess or significant gum disease, periodontitis, the infection can actually track right up from the tooth root into the nasal passage above it.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it creates a little tunnel, basically. So you might see chronic, pus-like discharge, often just on one side, and maybe really bad breath or pain when they try to eat.
Wow, so bringing your dog's teeth is also nose care.
In a way, yes. Healthy mouth, potentially healthier nose. It surprises a lot of people.
Fascinating. What else is on the potential cause list?
Well, less commonly, you can have things like nasal polyps. Those are benign growths or, unfortunately, nasal tumors.
Okay.
These can cause discharge that might be bloody or have pus or just be really thick mucus. You might also notice the breathing sounds noisy or even see a bulge on their nose, and their appetite might decrease.
That sounds serious.
It definitely can be, and needs prompt vet investigation. We should also mention breed things, those cute flat-faced breeds.
Like pugs and Frenchies.
Exactly. Bulldogs, too. Their anatomy, or sometimes having softer cartilage in their nostrils, can just make them more prone to a bit of nasal discharge and snorty breathing. It's kind of built in for some of them.
Ah, the price of cuteness sometimes.
Sort of. And then there's that weird thing called reverse sneezing.
Oh, yeah. That sounds terrifying, like they're choking backwards.
It does sound dramatic, but it's usually just a spasm in their throat and soft palate. Generally not harmful, just startling.
Good to know. It always freaks me out.
And don't forget the simple stuff. Like we said at the very beginning, dogs sweat through their noses and paws. So after exercise or when it's hot, a clear, runny nose can just be, well, sweat.
Just cooling off.
Right. Also, very occasionally, a puppy might be born with a cleft palate, or a dog could develop something called an oral nasal fistula, basically a hole between the mouth and nose. If that happens, you might see discharge right after they eat or drink.
Because food or water gets up there.
Exactly. And there are even tiny things called nasal mites, little parasites, though they're less common. And finally, nosebleeds, as mentioned, can sometimes be a sign of a bigger issue like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which is a tick-borne disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a huge range of possibilities, from sweat to serious infections or growths. It really shows why you need to pay attention.
Absolutely.
Now, if it seems pretty mild, maybe just started, are there any safe things you can try at home just to make them feel a bit better while you monitor?
Yeah, definitely some comfort measures you can take. Keeping their sleeping area clean, vacuuming regularly to reduce dust, that can help minimize irritation.
Okay.
Using a humidifier near where they rest can be soothing. Or let them hang out in the bathroom while you take a hot shower. The steam can help loosen things up.
Like a little doggy spa treatment?
Kind of.
Yeah.
And gently wiping away any gunk from around their nostrils with a soft, damp cloth is good. Just stops it getting crusty and sore.
Simple enough. Anything else?
Hydration is key. Make sure there's always fresh water. If they're off their food a bit, maybe try some tasty wet food to get fluids in, or even offer ice cubes if they like them.
Good ideas.
And just provide a warm, comfy, quiet place for them to rest up.
Great. So some helpful home comfort tips, but, and this is important, these are just for comfort, right? They don't fix the underlying problem.
Exactly right. These are supportive care, temporary relief. They are absolutely not a substitute for figuring out what's actually causing the runny nose and getting the right treatment from a vet.
Because the treatment depends entirely on the cause.
100%. If it's bacterial, they need antibiotics. Fungal needs antifungals. Allergies might need antihistamines or other meds. If something's stuck or there's a growth, that might need surgery.
And the dental stuff needs dental work.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So you have to get that diagnosis from your veterinarian to know what treatment is actually going to work.
Makes total sense. So, bottom line, if you're seeing those concerning signs, the weird colors, the blood, the thickness, the breathing issues, the lethargy, not eating, or if it's just dragging on, call the vet.
Please do.
Yeah.
Seriously, everything we've talked about today is just to help you understand the possibilities. It's educational. It doesn't replace sitting down with your vet, letting them examine your dog, maybe you run some tests, and figure out what's truly going on.
Yeah.
Getting that diagnosis quickly is often really important for getting them better faster.
Absolutely. Well, this has been quite the journey into the drips and drabs of dog noses. It's amazing how many things can cause that symptom.
It really is. And it just reinforces how observant we need to be as pet owners.
For sure. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. You know, dogs explore and understand their world so much through smell. Their nose is like their superpower. So keeping that nose healthy is a massive part of their overall well-being. Pay attention to the sniffles, the drips. They could be telling you something important. And remember, always talk to your vet about any health concerns. This chat is just for info, not medical advice.